Good afternoon. Welcome to your Thoth Tarot Tuesday. Okay, so this is the Hanged Man. This card came up when I did the full moon spread for last night in another deck. This is the Thoth Tarot deck. And I'm feeling that there's something with Neptune that is really affecting us right now. Now, today is also the day that Pluto goes retrograde, which is very much connected to that full moon energy. And I may do another reading on that. But for now, this card is somehow connected to the Neptune retrograde, which Pluto going retrograde affects more the collective as a whole. America's going through its Pluto return. It's a lot of change out in the collective that we can see. And Neptune's retrograde is a little bit different. That's a little more subtle. It's a little more inner. It's a little more personal. The Neptune retrograde is from June 25th, retrograde in Pisces, from June 25th to December 1st of this year. So, we have a little bit of time to prepare for this, but I feel like somehow this start of Pluto retrograde is giving us this little insight. The fact that we got that card last night, it's somehow connected now. Maybe we'll figure out how, or maybe we're just not really supposed to know. But Neptune's influence is considered to be creative, dream-based, and very spiritual. So like I said, it's very subtle. It's very inner. When Neptune is direct, we tend to walk around a bit more hopeful and optimistic. There's fantasies and dreams that we want to achieve. When it's retrograde, our dreams and our ideals may start to look different. Reality is asking us to come to terms with any portion of those dreams that perhaps is elusive, a little bit too fantasy. Maybe we need to rethink our creative pursuits as well, because we may start to lose creative focus or get a little bit confused. It's gonna provoke this new awareness, a little bit of uncomfortableness, a little bit of instability. But in order to achieve insightful and enlightened personal development, we must be able to master the energy that this planet brings. So as we get time to reflect on ourselves, Neptune shows its character as a planet of depth. It's asking you to anchor yourself and forget your projections. Are you capable of rising to your challenges that you've put in front of you? And certain personalities will find this more uncomfortable than others. It depends. When Neptune enters retrograde, it's giving us that time to reflect on our hopes and dreams. And it wants us to focus on our divine connection with our own spirituality and our visions for the future, and how maybe those things are intertwined. So maybe the Pluto retrograde is asking you to really, really be honest with yourself, really step into your power, take your power back. And it's giving you this inspiration, maybe. It's having this strong impact, and it's helping everyone to be able to make the difference between your reality and your ideals and find that right balance. So it's going to be necessary to invest oneself fully into this energy to feel the effects. They'll feel very subtle, but it's something that's worth looking into. And I think this is kind of giving us a little heads up to perhaps try this out for size before it absolutely goes retrograde, just to kind of get into that energy, And then I also can't help but say that perhaps there's something where this energy is connected back to Pisces season. So maybe there's something that emerged in this realm of Neptune here that started when we were in Pisces season. And maybe there's something that you can think of now within your own introspection that maybe connects with that. So anyway, I will get into the tarot card now. Enough of the astrology. So again, this is the Thoth Tarot. This card is card number 12. It usually in tarot, it's kind of a severe image, and its implications are very different from the previous path in the tarot journey. So, this is the soul and the psyche is placing its psyche into the world of form, the world of the creatrix. This baptism of water, the establishment of self-conscious in the watery world of flesh. So here, basically they're saying that he's pointing downward, and usually you can see the crown chakra lit up. In the card last night, it was very prominent. The spirit, the essence is drowned in the maternal waters, and then it's able to perceive itself as a soul, as an intrinsic and inseparable part of the one consciousness. And Carl Jung coined the phrase, I will be. The collective unconscious, describing this water as a boundless expanse full of this unprecedented uncertainty. No inside, no outside, no above, no below, no here, no there, no good and no bad. It's everything, it's that watery energy where everything kind of floats in suspension. So, this universal collective unconscious, to put it another way, in the state of consciousness, we're always the subject that has an object. So it's a reality that is totally turned around, and our subjective self, our soul, I am becoming objective, me, when immersed in the maternal waters, so the hangman is where that invisible becomes the visible, So, as we're moving forward on this path of the tree of life, this is, this is the Odin's tree, the Yggdrasil. I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but, only through the hindsight gained by going up higher and higher can we experience an understanding of the qualities of the lower part of our journey. It's like the fiery active part of the higher self, and then the watery, undercurrent. And in here we also see the Ankh at the top. He's hanging from that Ankh, and his foot is being held there, and the Ankh is like this cross-like symbol, and it's this, it's the divine, the infinity, The mediator becomes the object of one's own meditation. The individual becomes the other, which was previously the object of pursuit. The other now becomes the initiative. So you're merging your higher self. You're getting in touch with your magical abilities, and this is completely reversing your perspective. So you're suspending your own individual consciousness. You're like your image in the mirror. You're looking at the real non-reflected image that is the object of reflection. So you're going through this, conscious baptism or sacrifice. The perspective of I am is cleansed of the illusions of the material world. So, he's this is Odin. When he was hanging, he sacrificed his own individual perspective to the greater self perspective of all. And I guess here there's this serpent here, and the serpent is the creator and the destroyer. So, it's the soul and the son of spirit. That's that anima, that it's this card reverses the perspective. It's like the upside down thinking, where the flesh rules the emotions, to going right side up, where you're turning it around and the soul rules the emotions. So, the soul is observing the body rather than the body seeking its soul. And this is done through meditation. What this card is saying is you are right now, or perhaps you will be experiencing moments where you have to maybe sacrifice something, and it's not by choice, but it's teaching you the lesson of surrender in order for you to be able to break old patterns of your behavior. It's a time when you have to kind of accept this reversal, this shift, this, it can be a state of mystical death almost, a state of that death of the identity, the self, the ego. And then it's that change of consciousness, which gives you that change of perspective, that renewal and that rebirth, which clearly, as we get out of this Scorpio full moon and we're going with this Pluto retrograde, that's what we're going through. The message of the snake, the shedding of the old skin, and the renewal and rebirth of the self and how it connects. And, we're surrendering to the will of the cosmos. We're giving this time of pause and reflection, letting go and embracing the new, aligning with your heart and your purpose, and getting into this enlightenment. And then again, as we head into June, we're gonna see this really shifting for us. Odin hung for 9 days and 9 nights. He surrendered to death in order to be able to get wisdom from the runes. So it's saying by letting go with that sacrifice of his self for himself, he was gifted this access to the mysteries of like language and symbols and life. And, it's this intentional surrender. It's pushing beyond the current boundaries and releasing it all, and reaching towards that magic, that epiphany, and that present that brings you this inner peace. So you're being asked to flow with it, just let it go. And that really is the message of this moon. That's why we pulled this card last night, This card's offering you the chance to look at something from this totally different perspective. Relinquish the need to control the forces around you. Let go of that idea, that relationship, that career issue, everything that's got your rigid mind stationary. The mind is death, because the mind is not alive. It stays. It wants to be rigid. It wants to be stuck. And this is asking you to open that mind, break free from those old mental models, that old programming, and tap into this whole new framework that, you can interpret the world from. This wisdom is spilling forth in these moments of deep flow, these energies of the moon. So lay back and sway back and forth and meet this inner pattern. It's connected a lot to, the Capricorn energies, and Pluto goes retrograde in Capricorn, and Capricorn went through a lot last year. And, that's that devil tarot card, that's the old patterns, the old, resistance to change, being stuck in things, being attached to things, falling into that learned helplessness, and that, the roles of the martyr. You're stuck in a place, you're resisting your shadow, you're forcing those opportunities for growth and a different type of connection. You're pushing them away, and Capricorn is very fear-based energies, that when it's in its shadow. And that was clear last year, and we're transmuting that Capricorn energy, and we're going to continue to be transmuting it in a different way as Pluto goes into retrograde. It's going to affect the collective again in a very different way than it did last year. So, this card is telling you to take this deep dive, process and meditate, and bring your unconscious to knowledge, to that forefront of your conscious mind. Be able to flow with this energy, and release those current boundaries, and just sway, and just wait for that crown chakra to get that enlightenment. And then as it goes retrograde, we're gonna need to rethink things. So, now we're getting this time to reflect. We're anchoring ourselves in this present moment, and you know, we're gonna get new gifts, clairvoyance, and we really need to be introspective. We really need to be present in this here and now without fleeing from the present, you know. So focus on that connection, those visions, those you know, moments of light that you're getting now, because there's this new integration process, this something is coming up with this retrograde in June. So, you know, it's saying that this time right now is just really important to just tap into that energy. Like, don't, you know, tune in. The Hanged Man wants you to just float and dangle and feel light and free, and in that surrender. And the wisdom will come. The wisdom will come, you know, new gifts will come, new awakenings, new enlightenments. And it's, you know, heart chakra openings too, because there's Venus is here too, you know, and it's this cracking open as we, you know, tap into these energies. It's beautiful. And yeah, it's not for the weak of heart, but the you know, what we see after this, it will make so much sense, and it'll be well worth this time of introspection. It really will. So truly tap into these energies. And let me ring the bell. And just, you know, surrender. Enjoy this beautiful energy right now. Blessed be.